Our first guest tonight is a cantankerous man who is largely responsible for two of the funniest shows of all time. He recently completed the 12th and final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. All episodes are on Max. He would rather be at home tonight. Please welcome Larry David.
I heart you. Can we get rid of that in the culture soon? How fast can we get rid of this? Please, somebody do something about that.
It leaped up. I was thinking about it last night. It just snuck up on us, and now it's everybody's got this.
I know, it's just ridiculous.
I think Taylor Swift might have started it or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Are you all right? I see. Are you limping a little? What's going on with you?
I got in a little altercation in the supermarket. Yeah. Somebody was taking advantage of the less than 10 items, you know.
Oh. In what way?
And I was right behind him.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't like it. You know, you don't do that. Come on, Jimmy. You don't do that.
I know.
And by the way, 6 of them were bottles of ketchup, okay? He had like 12 items, but 6. He's claiming that's one item. That's not one item.
I would agree with him on that. I would say.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just think because they.
Bottles of ketchup.
Yeah, because they can go times 6 and they can go whatever.
All right. Anyway, I didn't like it, and he had a bad temper, and he lashed out at me physically.
And wow, really?
Yeah, and we got in an altercation, and you know, I hurt my knee, but he's in much worse shape than me.
Is he?
Yeah. Well, he was an older man.
How much older was the man?
Well, I found out later he was a Holocaust survivor. And apparently they're very temperamental, survivors. I didn't know that, you know.
Perhaps you would have let him slide had you known that. Yeah, that's a lot of bottles of ketchup. That's like Donald Trump level bottles of ketchup.
Yeah, I don't know. Why do you need six bottles of ketchup?
Maybe he's throwing them out the wall. I don't know. So are you going to physical therapy? Are you doing anything for this?
Well, yeah, I was told that if you stretch, that it's good for the knee. Mm-hmm. It's stretching. So a friend of mine told me that he had a stretcher.
A stretcher person?
A stretcher, a guy who comes over and stretches. Yeah.
Really?
He'll stretch you. Have you ever been stretched?
Nope, never.
Oh, it's a nice thing, Jimmy.
Is it?
It's very relaxing. Okay?
Really?
Yes, yeah, you know, it feels good. You're stretching, you know. And so the stretcher comes to the house, and he's working on me. He's stretching me, you know.
Uh-huh. As they do.
And it feels pretty good, I gotta say. It feels pretty good. So after about 15 minutes, he says, okay, you know, stand up and walk around. See how the knee feels. So I do a little walk around the room, and I go, nothing, you know. I've never seen anybody so offended. He just couldn't believe that he didn't make a difference. Your stretching didn't do anything for me. And he kind of didn't say another word for the rest of the session. He was visibly angry and left without saying goodbye.
He did?
Yes.
And is that important to you, a proper goodbye? Because it seems like it might not be.
Well, I mean, in a situation like that, okay, I'm going something.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't just leave without saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, I had a friend stay over my house for, 4 days. He was a guest.
Uh-huh.
And when he left, I was in the basement stretching. Uh-huh. You know? And he came to the top of the stairs. I couldn't even see him. And he said, okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye. You know, he said, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, bye. You know, from the basement.
Yeah.
Did I have to walk up the steps to say, would you walk up the steps to say goodbye?
Oh, wow.
Because he hasn't been, he didn't answer my texts after that. He's pissed off.
Oh, he's annoyed with you.
He's annoyed that I didn't walk up the steps.
He didn't walk down the steps.
He didn't walk down the steps.
It's easier to walk down the steps.
Well, then he has to walk back up.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's even. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's even.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But he's already at the top of the step. He's expecting me to walk up the steps.
Can I tell you, and I really like to give you my honest opinion, I'm on your side on this one.
Really?
He came to stay with you.
Yes.
In your house.
Yeah.
If anyone had a debt, it was him to pay. He should have come downstairs.
Come down the steps. Come down the
and
steps.
gone back up the stairs. Unless he was an elderly Holocaust survivor.
No,
in
he
which
was not.
case-
No, he was not. Yeah.
He is not. I love the idea of you having house guests. Even that seems odd to me. There's like almost, I try to sometimes imagine you in different scenarios,
Yeah.
you know? Like, is there something you can tell us that we would never have known about you? Is there anything that pops to mind when I ask that question?
Oh, boy. You really put me on the spot.
Yeah, well, you don't
All
have
right,
to.
I'll tell you something, okay? All right, you want to know something?
Yes.
My great-grandmother
Okay.
dated Nietzsche, the German philosopher.
For real.
Yes, yeah.
Dated him.
Dated. They were close. They had a good relationship. He met her parents before he went in. She said to him, "Don't say God is dead at the table."
That was his thing. Yeah, God is dead. Right.
He said, I'm not going to say God is dead. She said, "What are you talking about? You say it all the time. That's all I ever hear you talk about. God is dead. God is dead. I'm sick of it. Don't say it in the house." He says, "Okay, I won't say it in the house. Fine." He gets through the dinner. They see each other a few days later. He hands her this huge manuscript. He says, "Look, I haven't given this to the editors yet. I'd like you to read it. It's called Thus Spoke Zarathustra." And she was very intimidated by it. Mm-hmm. And she couldn't read it. She got through 2 pages. It's no fun to read this thing.
Right.
And he said, "What'd you think?" "Loved it." Loved it. He said, "Oh, really? What'd you love about it?" "Oh, I love the character. She reminded me of me. I thought she was based on me." He said, "Oh, really?" "Yeah. Zarathustra's a guy, okay?" And so they broke up. Now you see why my stand-up career was in the toilet.
But I think
Because
it needs
that's
a
the
little
kind
polish.
of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I would do on stage.
Right, yeah.
And it would bomb just like it did here tonight. Yeah. Same thing.
Well, let's take a break and we'll reset and we'll start over again.
Sure,
Larry
yeah.
David is here. We'll be right back.
One option I see, Woods Garden Supply on Benedict Canyon.
Siri, Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood.
One option I see, the Wolseley Restaurant in Burbank.
No, you're not listening. I said Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood.
A wolf's den is a habitat that provides wolves with
Oh, you
protection from weather.
stupid idiot! It's Wolf's Glen Restaurant in Westwood.
That is Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm, which you can see on Max. All 12 seasons of the show. Is that something that happened to you for real?
Yes, that happened in my garage. Yeah. And I was much angrier than I was. I was enraged.
Yeah, it happens to me too. I wonder.
Especially if you're in a hurry. Yeah.
I wonder. It makes me think like when they're talking about AI taking over the world. Why can't that work properly?
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't it play the song I want it to play?
Yeah.
Do you find that, I mean, like, even going back to Seinfeld, how many of the plots of the shows were based on real events, things that happened to you in your life?
Well, obviously, the contest, that was...
The contest was a real contest.
Yeah, real contest.
That you participated in.
Yeah.
Who were the other competitors in the contest?
Just one friend of mine.
Just one friend, yeah.
Let's see. Well, the Gettysburg Address episode we did this year.
You really memorized the Gettysburg Address?
Yeah, you know, I have a urinal in my office,
Okay.
and it's just so boring. You're wasting so much time when you could be learning something. So, I said to someone, "Do me a favor, get me the Gettysburg Address. I'm going to put it over the urinal. So every time I go, I'm going to learn some more of the Gettysburg Address." And I actually learned the Gettysburg Address. Yeah.
You could come up with that right now if you wanted to.
And then I tried to learn the charge of the Light Brigade.
No? No good? Yeah.
No good, yeah.
No, nobody wants to hear that anyway. Maybe the Gettysburg Address.
By the
yeah.
way, I understand that you have a urinal in your house. Is that
I have a urinal yes, it was a point of much contention between me and my wife. I have a urinal in the garage because when I get home, I need to pee before the children greet me. You understand? Or else I will pee on the children. So...
Are you a dog? I don't get it.
Do you not have you don't have this issue where you absolutely have to go?
You go to the bathroom. What do you mean? Not in the garage. I don't have to go in the garage. I can hold it for another 10 feet to the bathroom.
I can't. And even if I have a complicated belt, forget about it. That's right. Because the wheels start turning as soon as the car door opens. You know, you don't have that? I thought everyone had that. You're not for a urinal in the garage?
I've never heard of a urinal in a garage.
Well,
never.
I think you're going to start hearing about it a lot more.
You might as well just keep a big bucket in the car. Yeah.
I got one of those from my dad. I got my dad because I guess we have the same prostate, and I got my dad. He's got a thing, and my mother thinks it's disgusting, but it's in there in case he needs it.
I'm surprised there aren't more urinals in homes, by the way.
I'm with you. You know, you're not allowed to have a urinal in your house.
What?
I had to put a fake toilet in and swap it out.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
That's the law? No urinals?
I think so. That's what they told me, yeah. It's some sort of code. I don't know. It has to, I guess, be, like, available to everyone. And I said to my wife, I was like, you can use it too. You just have to back up. That's all.
Well, maybe, you know, maybe if Trump had a urinal in his house, they could arrest him for that. You know?
It's harder to keep documents in a urinal. Yeah. You, how long have you been married now?
It's almost 4 years.
And it's going well? Everything's good?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, so about a couple of weeks ago, we went out to dinner.
You and your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I got home, I started thinking to myself, if this was our second date, I don't think I'd call her again. I mean, you know, it was okay. It was okay, but am I going to call her again? I don't know. I don't think so. No sex. You know. What? Why? You know. I don't think I would.
I guess it's the difference between a job interview and a Wednesday, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
When you were a single man,
Okay.
did you answer the phone during intercourse?
Well, mail, for sure. Answered mail. No,
Would you
I think I
interrupt the
would.
intercourse
I think I
to
would.
go, excuse me, yeah, excuse me.
I think I would because... Yeah, the old phones, yes.
Yeah.
When you don't know who's
Yeah, the old
calling.
phones, yeah.
If it was the new phones,
No,
where you
it's
know
not a cell phone. No,
It's not a
the
cell
old,
phone.
No, the old phones.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You?
You answered?
I would, yeah, sure. I think I probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes?
I did.
Yeah,
It
and?
might be another woman. Of course I'm going to.
I have a somewhat uncomfortable question to ask you. And
Sure.
I feel like we're rolling, so I can ask this. So you were, I don't know if you remember this.
Do you want me to do the Nietzsche bit again?
No, don't do that.
I'm happy to do it again.
We'll do it on the podcast.
Because it killed. The Nietzsche bit killed.
So you're saying your great-great-grandmother dated her. So, you were supposed to be our guest. I hosted the Oscars on Sunday night,
Yes.
and on Monday, you were our guest. And we like to have a great guest on Monday night after the Oscars because it's a big audience coming in.
Yeah.
So we asked you, and I was excited you said yes. And then, sadly, your friend Richard Lewis passed away shortly before the Oscars.
Yeah.
And I was friendly with Richard as well. And you contacted us and said, listen, whoever it was said, listen, I'm not gonna do the show because I'm feeling sad about my friend, losing my friend, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
And then I hosted the Oscars on Sunday, and I went to a party after the Oscars, and who did I run into at that party? Smiling broadly, I might add. but Mr. Larry David.
Okay, so you want an explanation?
Well,
I used the death of my best friend to get out of doing a show I didn't want to do in the first place. Very simple. It's very simple.
I would expect nothing less. Larry David, everybody. Curb Your Enthusiasm. All the seasons are on Max. Thank you, Larry. We'll be back with Cyndi Lauper.